NFL free agency is 2 days away. The Patriots have a bunch of cap space. They've already made signings like Hunter Henry and Chukwuma Okorafor. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because when New England makes more moves starting on Monday, and heck, maybe even before that with re-signings of potential other in-house free agents, we'll drop a video, so subscribe and don't miss a thing. Like I mentioned, NFL free agency does get kicked off 12 p.m. Eastern time on Monday, March 11th. That's when teams can tamper and kind of agree to signings. So we're going to look at some free agent targets for Eliot Wolf, Jerod, Mayo, and the New England Patriots. I am Nic Rohloff, and I think we have to start with the quarterback position because they've been linked to a bunch of veteran QBs. Now there's Baker Mayfield still out there. There's Kirk Cousins that's going to be there. But the three guys that I'm focused on are these three right here. Because I truly believe New England is going to just look at like the bridge and veteran backup kind of quarterbacks. They're not looking to make a splash like Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield. I believe they will go with that third overall pick, being a quarterback and having one of these guys, Jacoby Brissett, Joe Flacco, and Gardner Minshew as the mentor / backup. If I had to make one prediction that the Patriots would sign someone and have to put my life on it, it would be this man right here, Jacoby Brissett, returning to Foxborough as the mentor / bridge quarterback to whoever they draft at 3. He has experience in Alex Van Pelt's offensive scheme. It makes all the sense in the world. Let's go to running backs because there's 8 solid running backs available to be signed. Now the question is, will New England go after any of them? They only have Ramondre Stevenson on their roster right now. They have Kevin Harris, who showed some promise at the end of last season. It wouldn't surprise me if the only move they made at running back was just bringing back Ezekiel Elliott because I thought he was pretty good for New England last season. I don't expect them to go after some of the top guys like Derrick Henry, Jacobs, Barkley. They're looking for someone to complement the game of Ramondre Stevenson. Maybe someone more in the passing game. Even though Ramondre is good in that area, maybe more an agile back. Keep your eye on DeAndre Swift, possibly. I'm actually a big fan of Antonio Gibson. If they were able to pick him up on the low, he was a college wide receiver at Memphis before converting to running back. Gibson is someone I'd have my eye on as a change of pace back to Ramondre Stevenson. Drop a name for me. It doesn't have to be a quarterback or running back. Just name a free agent that is out there that you want the Patriots to sign. There's a lot of pieces on the defensive side of the ball. There's also some offensive guys we'll talk about more in depth here at the wide receiver and left tackle position. But name someone you want Eliot Wolf to sign in the comment section. Let's transition over to wide receiver because once was a wild wide receiver crew with T. Higgins, Michael Pittman Jr., Mike Evans. All 3 of those guys are either franchise tagged or re-signed with their respective team, which doesn't allow a lot of good free agents to hit the open market. Calvin Ridley's the no-doubt #1 guy, and I wouldn't hate if the Patriots threw a bag at him. Yes, he's 29. Yes, he's a little bit undersized at 6'1", little thin, but when he plays a full season, he simply gets over 1,000 yards. I'm a big fan of Ridley's game. I would probably stay away from Marquise Brown. I just don't know if he's got the route running ability to separate as a #1 guy consistently. And he also has drop issues as well. Darnell Mooney's someone that intrigues me, but if you're living in that range of wide receivers, why not just re-sign Kendrick Bourne, who has expressed interest in returning to Foxborough, and then draft someone on day 2 of the NFL draft? Don't think they'd go after Tyler Boyd or Curtis Samuel, as those guys project more slot wide receivers, as Demario Douglas projects to have that position in 2024. Noah Brown is someone linked to the Patriots in the past. He had a pretty decent season for all things considered with the Houston Texans in and out of the lineup. Had a 185-yard performance in 2023. Noah Brown, someone on the cheap that I wouldn't hate to be the Patriots' 4th or 5th wide receiver. But if I had to pick anyone from the list, I'm throwing a bag at Calvin Ridley. The Patriots did re-sign Hunter Henry to a 3-year, $27 million deal worth up to $30 million annual or total and throughout the first 3 seasons. But I do expect them to go after another free agent tight end as that next guy up to provide depth for Henry and be more of a blocking tight end. Gerald Everett's one of the most experienced guys out there. He might be too expensive to pay as a tight end too, if you're asking me, but Austin Hooper, who has experience with Alex Van Pelt, Logan Thomas, who got cut by the Commanders, or maybe the Patriots just bring back Pharaoh Brown. He was one of the best graded tight ends from PFF in 2023. He made some splash plays when he got limited targets. He's also a really good run blocker. I wouldn't hate if the only move they made at tight end in free agency after Henry was just re-signing Pharaoh Brown and maybe targeting a tight end on day 3 of the NFL draft. Let's shift over to offensive tackles now, and this is a area that I expect New England to be active in. They've already signed Chukwuma Okorafor to a 1-year deal that is base $4.25 million, has a chance to get up to $8.5 million with incentives. He could be someone that is fighting for that right tackle spot or be a swing tackle. I think the Patriots should absolutely go all in on Tyron Smith, the left tackle from Dallas. He can protect any rookie quarterback or just simply any quarterback that you put out there under center as an experienced all-pro caliber guy. If they don't go with Tyron Smith, I think Jonah Williams out of Cincinnati is someone I would personally target to be that left tackle guy. And if you re-sign Mike Onwemu but view him as a guard, you can kick Onwenu inside at that right guard spot, have Sidy Sow be the interior backup and depth piece, and then also go after Jermaine Illuminor, who had a pretty solid season in Las Vegas. Let Illuminor and Okorafor fight for that right tackle spot. Jonah Williams at left tackle. You could also draft a young guy in the draft in day 2. Sounds like a pretty good plan to me. We're going to shift over to the defensive side of the ball in terms of free agents in just a second, but I need to make sure we are beating the Broncos breakdown in subscribers. It's our month-long sub battle for March. We have a 3-subscriber lead right now. We have to keep our foot on the gas pedal. Let's destroy the Broncos, hit that sub button. It only benefits you as you get the latest surrounding the New England Patriots. And we are about 200 subs away from 9,000, by the way. If we get there before free agency starts, I'm doing a beer bong to start off a video during the week of free agency. Let's look at the interior defensive line now, because it's a place where, well, the Patriots might not need, but they could really upgrade their defense by looking at this position. Chris Jones, probably not going to happen. He'll likely return to Kansas City. But listen, if you added him to this team, it would be a generational duo between him and Barmore. It would just simply cost you $30 million per season, and he's already close to that 30-year-old range. Christian Wilkins has been someone linked to the Patriots in the past. Justin Madubuike just got a $24.5 million deal annually over 4 seasons with the Ravens to return to Baltimore. I think Wilkins will likely get that, if not top it. So if you're going to sign Christian Wilkins, which could create another elite interior defensive line duo between Barmore and him in terms of run stopping, but also generating pressure up the middle, you're likely going to have to pay him $25 million per season over 3 or 4 years. Will Eliot will do that? I don't know, but it's someone that could interest the Patriots to open up free agency. But if you're looking at a cheaper option, I wouldn't hate Javon Kinlaw. He's been up and down in San Francisco, former first-round pick. If you sign him to like a 1-year, $5.5 million deal, have him rotate in with Barmore like an 85-15 or 80-20, or play them alongside each other, take a high upside swing on Kinlaw. Let's look at the edge position now, because this one is a spot the Patriots absolutely need to address with Josh Uche hitting the open market. The Patriots need to find someone opposite of Matthew Judon. Mack Wilson could be a cheap option as a re-signing as well, but if the Patriots wanted to swing big, they could send $24-25 mil at Danielle Hunter and create one of the best duos on the edge perimeter, as they both have more than 10-plus sacks a season over the past 3 years. Bryce Huff is a rising name in New York with the Jets. You could steal him from a division opponent. I'm staying away from Chase Young, if I'm going to be honest. If there's another name that interests me on this list outside of Josh Uche, who could return on a 1-year, 2-year deal, Andrew Van Ginkel, the edge from Miami, he is just a dynamic player that is a gamer. He was really solid for Vic Fangio last season in Miami. I think Van Ginkel could be one of those Kyle Van Noy-esque players that just bounces around on the defensive side, can really play in a multiple different positions, can cover a tad bit, but also get after the quarterback at that edge spot as a cheap option. What say you, though? Should the Patriots and Eliot will focus on offense or defense more in free agency? Type off for offense, type D for defense. You'd expect the Patriots to really go after offensive players to go younger on that side of the ball in the NFL draft. Well, maybe that makes the Patriots go defense in free agency. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let's look at some cornerbacks now, and I don't expect the Patriots to go crazy in this market, as they still have Christian Gonzalez, Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones, Alex Austin is back. Maybe they re-sign Miles Bryant once again. They've also reportedly had interest in trading with the Chiefs for L'Jarius Sneed. That could cost you a second-round pick. He's one of the best corners in football. But guys you could just sign right off the market and bring him to the roster: Kendall Fuller, Chidobe Awuzie, Steven Nelson, Adoree Jackson. I don't know if they'll go in the cornerback direction in free agency, but these are 4 names that kind of give me some intrigue. If I got to be honest, if I had to pick someone, he'd also probably be the cheapest. Adoree Jackson. Very interesting name to keep your eye on. Could be that third corner on this team, or maybe that second boundary guy with Gonzalez, and moving Jonathan Jones back to that nickel spot where he flourished at his beginning in Foxborough. Safety position is an interesting one because you have Jabril Peppers already, but he could be classified as a linebacker in a hybrid role like Adrian Phillips played at times for New England. Kyle Duggar obviously received the transition tag. And if you look at this list, there is an unbelievable amount of good safeties on the free agency market, which really will drive down that market. So you're not paying big bucks for any of these guys. The transition tag for Duggar is at 13 and change per season, or just a 1 year. I wouldn't be surprised if Duggar signed a 4-year, $52 million deal, which equates to $13 million per season. But even if you re-sign Duggar, maybe you move Peppers into that little hybrid role and go after an Xavier McKinney to be a ball-hawking free safety alongside Kyle Duggar, and now you have a 3-man trio of Duggar, Peppers, and McKinney. Well, that's a really dynamic, versatile trio that could be the back end of your defense. Justin Simmons also got cut by Denver. Intriguing name. CJ Gardner-Johnson's also intriguing. You know, someone who isn't being talked about enough, Darnell Savage, the 26-year-old from Green Bay. If you have him as your third guy behind Duggar and Peppers, I wouldn't hate that one bit. He would be super, super cheap as well. All right, there we go. We talked about, 55, 60-plus guys on today's video, at least that. Make sure you hit that sub button once again. This is going to be one of your final warnings before Monday's free agency tampering period opens, because the Patriots have a shit ton of cap space. They're going to make a ton of moves. So join the channel and don't miss a thing surrounding your New England Patriots.